Let's continue with notes how to create a graph, and let's talk about labels. So if you're filling out this page still, we filled out title. Next is labels of the 5 items in which you must include on a graph. Okay, the first thing is a label is going to be very important to your graph because it's going to tell you basically what you measured or what you found or what you're comparing when you completed an experiment. All right, and there are 2 axes, especially when you're creating, let's say, a bar or a line graph. You have the x-axis, which the x-axis is located down here. This is the x-axis. And then you have the y-axis, which is located right here. Now, the x and y-axis both have labels. The label for the x, you might be able to see, is located right here, and I've just given you an answer to one of them. But the other part of that is that it must also include, if needed or if used during the lab, it must include the units. And the units will tell you, did you measure it in inches? Did you measure it in feet? Did you measure it in seconds? Did you measure it in hours? Did you measure it in teaspoons or cups? You know, it's going to tell you more specifically about what your results were and how, what unit of measurement did you use. So you've got a graph which is located right down here. What I'd like for you to do is I'd like you to answer these questions located here. So you can pause for right now, and when you're ready to go ahead and unpause, and the answers will come up, and we'll go through those together. So let's start here. What is the title of the graph? Since we've already done the notes on titles, okay, the title is located always across the very top. All right, to give kind of a brief glimpse, a better understanding of what the graph is trying to represent. So this one says, Canada goose population in MD, and MD stands for Maryland. So this is going to tell you roughly how many Canadian geese or goose that are found in Maryland. Okay, so the first question, we got the title. The second question, what are the labels and the units used for this graph? So let's start with the x-axis label. X-axis label, as I've already given you, is the year. And the unit, you notice that the unit is not located, and we don't know exactly what unit was used other than, well, it's a year. So technically the unit, it's not given, but some people may have simply written down that it was a year. And I apologize for my poor writing with this, still learning how to write with the bamboo. Okay. The second one is the y-axis, and the label that's used there is population. And then how do they measure the population? And that is in the thousands, which is located right there. So there's an example in which you're talking about labels, and we're also talking about the units that are involved in a graph.